Hi darlings, I am back with another IGTV. I know it's been so long. I know many of you were looking for a flip through, so I will be doing a flip through today of the Meal Remembered devotional. This was the April devotional kit. It was perfect with Easter and Passover week. And yeah, let's get into it. So I'm going to put my Bible aside. I also have my hymnal with me. So if you don't know, I am part of the creative team for By the Well for God, and their April kit was a meal to remember. This obviously comes like a normal TN, but I actually broke open the TN. I put it on discs, and what I did was I took off the staples that come in the middle. I cut right through the middle, and then I put it together on discs. These are Happy Planner discs, and let me give you a look at what that looks like. So the Happy Planner discs, they come off and I can just pop it back on. For those of you, I know there's a lot of questions lately on my feed, and I just wanted to explain that a little bit. So the first person that I saw do this was a person on our creative team, Elisa from By the Well for God. She is Scrappy Wife, and I am going to link her as well. So she's the first person that did this, that I saw do this with the devotional. And recently, Janet from Top Knots and Jesus also did the same thing, and she reminded me of that technique. And so I wanted to do the same with this devotional. So I'm just gonna show you guys what I did and little things here and there. So I did that. I added washi. So if you see the sides, I added washi along the sides of each page just to give it a little bit of interest. Don't be afraid to dress up, your devotional. Don't be afraid. So I went in colored. I put April devotional study, the year. I had these beautiful, they're like vellum florals that I got from a little craft place. I put it there. I put the Meal Remember card here. This is a fabric clip that came with the devotional. Like I said, I put washi all along the sides, and I love that. Here is the introduction. I read through this usually, and it basically explains what the devotional is going to be about, and it gives a breakdown of how it's a 14-day devotional and how its intent is to read it. But of course, you can read it however you want. There's Thomas the Brave. I read through it. This first day, day one, I know I read in my Bible, and I kind of just read the story, but I also, on day one, I read John chapters 13 and 17 through my Bible, because that was going to give me the basis and the foundation for everything that was going to be in the 14 days of devotional. So I did that on day one. And so day one was Thomas the Brave. You probably can't see this on camera, but because these are vellum stickers, I can actually still see the writing under there. So that's perfect with the vellum stickers. The second day was a servant leader. What I did was I did a little bit of a pop-in card, and I used the alphas from the tau alphas and the clear alphas from the devotional. I also used stamps. This is part of the stamps as well, and I used some of the clear stickers, the date on the side, and on the back I put my journaling, as in my just a quick prayer. The main point that I got out of a servant leader was to be a servant. You have to lead. You must serve first. You must first serve. And I also wanted to add this little mark: be a servant like Jesus. And so again, I just used things from the kit. This was that tab was made of part of the paper pack. And as you see, I go through, read, highlight what's important to me or what stands out to me, and then I go in and I make sure that I look up all of these verses and really read the content. So I did that for day two. Day three was the betrayer. Same thing. Day three, I used, this is part of the paper pack. This is part of the freebie. If you're one of the first 100, you get these library cards. That's what she had for that month. Die cuts, tau alpha, and I can just pop it in. I also continue to dress up my devotional. You'll see I stamped in here. In this second page, I stamped a little bit of well. I answered the question here, highlighted content as I read. As I read, I like to circle, highlight things that really pop out to me. So yeah. Number 4 was the new commandment. Again, reading, underlining. I did kind of a little pop in and I did a little washi tab where I can move this if I'd like. His disciples show love. Number 4, day 4, spoke about how we should love. And by loving, the world will know that we are his followers. And so that's something I really wanted to write out for myself to remind me. His disciples show his love. And again, die cuts. This was part of the washi from the clear sticker pack. In the back, I wrote a little bit more of what the Holy Spirit was speaking to my heart. And then I did a little prayer and finished this off. I remember I underlined this because I thought this was really interesting. The Greek word agape. I already knew it, but I love to underline. I love to, and it doesn't matter to me how many times something is brought to me. The Spirit can always reveal new things, even within the same things that you've learned repetitively, which is good to reread stories because of that. On this day, I used the stencil. It's a Tim Holtz stencil that I got from By the Well for God. And you see I used some brown and I kind of decked up. And I love it because when you use stencil, it's so light that you can still read the words, but it still gives the page a little pizzazz. I did like a pocket prayer here using, again, the paper pack. Did a little pocket prayer, used a little fabric clippy, and I used it to clap as a tag. I used the tag, the We Are Memory Keepers. If you can see, it's black, and I did that so that when I put my fabric through, it wouldn't tear easily. Did a little prayer, pocket prayer, simple, but I also answered the questions. So you see, I do everything. I did most things within this devotional. Now on day 6, there is so much. I mean, even all of the verses that she put through, I went through and read them, but there was so much content. I read through, underlined, highlighted, and what I did was I went through and I got what I really wanted, and then I wanted to do like a page just for the Holy Spirit. And so I did day 6 in my hymnal, and you see the helper dwells in me. I used part of the paper pack, paper clip. I got messy with a little bit of acrylic paint in the background, more paper pack along the bottom. So that's how I did my day 6. I did it in my hymnal. This is an old hymnal I got at the Look Up retreat. Then there's day 7, go the way and going back. Again, a little prayer, answering the questions. On day 8, same thing, went through, highlighted, walking and talking, circling things that stand out to me. On day 9, I did the same. What I got out of this, I wanted to create like a little neighborhood with the scenery from the die cuts, and I put, be a good neighbor, love one another. And on the back, I wrote a little prayer, answered the questions here. So yeah, day 10, I read in my Bible, highlighted what I found. On day 11, the ministry of the Spirit really spoke to me, and I wrote out, this is basically, and let me show you, this is the back of, use everything. This is the back of what our clear stickers came with. And what I did was I punched it and I used it. And so number 1, helper. Number 2, he's an advocate. Number 3, he's our counselor. Number 4 is our comforter. And I put in the verses that I found within the reading and my study time that correlate with each one of those things and of the ministry of the Holy Spirit. Day 12, ask yourself, what would Jesus do? Writing out my thoughts on what I read, a little prayer on the back, answering questions within the devotional. So I did that. On number 13, I wrote all of this out. A high priestly prayer. I did this one in my Bible. Day 13. I did a little bit of, this is a Jesus Bible. I did a little bit of art inside, and I really read. There's the devotional that also correlated with the prayer of Christ that we went through. So I did this in my Bible, just so you can see. And number 14 was the cup. I really, really love this day, guys. It was the best day out of all 14 days. So many of them were so good and really stood out to me, but I really love this day, and I really enjoyed getting into it. And I did that one in my Bible as well. I read through, highlighted. There was also a devotional in my Jesus Bible that correlated with it. I did a little prayer, a tab from the paper pack, and that was it. That was my day 14. So yeah, guys, don't be afraid to try new things. I really loved this style of going through the devotional and my study. I loved flipping through this. I might do this again. So I will leave all the details below. And thank you so much for watching. And I'm going to try to have an IGTV for you guys every Friday. So check me out. Thank you so much.